You ever click Buy Now online and just wonder what happens next? What's the magic that kicks into gear the second you confirm your order? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on that incredible unseen world. We're going to dive into the secret life of a warehouse and follow the journey of a single package.
I mean, think about it. It sounds impossible, right? How does a building the size of a small city, just packed with millions of different items, manage to find that one specific tiny little box you ordered and get it all the way to your front door? That's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
And here's the secret. A warehouse isn't just a big shed full of stuff. Not at all. It's a living, breathing engine. It's this complex, perfectly timed symphony of steel, machinery, and people, all working in harmony to power the way we shop, the way we live.
So here's how we're going to break down this incredible engine. We'll start with the big picture, then we'll follow a package's journey from the moment it hits the dock to the floor. From there, we go up into the vertical world of storage and find its perfect spot. We'll also look at the people who power this whole system. And finally, we'll track that package's final journey out the door.
All right, our package's life begins right here, at the loading dock. A huge truck backs in, those big roll-up doors fly open, and suddenly thousands of products are ready to enter the warehouse's circulatory system. This handoff is absolutely critical. It has to be fast, it has to be safe, and it has to be efficient.
And this whole transition is only possible because of some highly specialized gear we call dock equipment. We're talking about things like wheel chocks that lock the truck in place, dock levelers that form a perfect bridge. These things are the true unsung heroes of logistics.
And the level of specialization here is just wild. Even a simple ramp isn't just a ramp. You see, if you're driving a multi-ton forklift off that truck, you need a heavy-duty steel dock board. But if you're just using a hand truck, a lighter aluminum dock plate is all you need. In this world, the right tool for the job is everything.
So it all boils down to a pretty simple three-step dance. First, you unload everything at the dock. Second, you convey it into the system. These are like the arteries pulling everything inward. And third, you move it along to the next zone. Simple as that.
Now, those conveyors, they basically come in two main flavors. You've got your simple, almost elegant gravity conveyors. It's just rollers on a slight slope, letting physics do all the work. Super efficient. But then you've got the brains of the operation, the power conveyors. We're talking motors, belts, sensors, the whole shebang, controlling the flow and sending every single box exactly where it needs to go.
So what happens once a box gets off that main conveyor highway? Well, it travels the side roads. And for that, there is a cart for literally every purpose you can imagine. From your standard hand trucks to high-security carts for valuable items. There are even specialized carts just for laundry. The variety is absolutely staggering.
Okay, so we've covered moving side to side. But in a modern warehouse, floor space is gold. You can't just build out, you have to build up. So now we're entering the vertical world, where everything gets lifted high into the air to find its temporary home.
And this is where the real industrial muscle shows up. We are talking about massive machines built for one thing, lifting. You've got powerful hoists and cranes that can lift entire pallets weighing thousands of pounds. You've got scissor lifts and specialized lift trucks navigating these super narrow aisles, and even personnel lifts that take the workers themselves right up to the very top shelves.
So we've moved it and we've lifted it. Now we have to store it. And honestly, this might be the biggest challenge of all. How do you organize millions of different items so that you can find any single one in a matter of minutes? It's really the art of organized chaos. The backbone of this whole system, the racks. You really have to think of them as the skeleton of the warehouse. And look, these are not your garage shelves. These are massive, engineered steel structures, built to hold thousands upon thousands of pounds on every single level.
But what do you do with stuff that doesn't fit in a neat little box? Like long pieces of lumber or giant pipes. Well, of course, there's a special solution for that. Cantilever racks. They have these long arms that stick out from a central column, creating the perfect open shelf for all those long, awkward items. Every problem has a purpose-built solution.
Now, if the racks are the skeleton, then you can think of the bins as the cells. They bring order to the smallest, tiniest items. For every pallet of big stuff, there are thousands of little parts, screws, bolts, tiny electronic bits, and they all need a home. That's where stacking bins and shelf bins come in, to create a system of micro-organization.
And for situations where you need extreme density, I'm talking thousands of tiny parts that need to be picked really, really fast, you get these incredible rotating systems that bring the shelf directly to the picker.
One of the most famous ones has just the best name ever. It's called the Beast Rotobin. It's a massive, rotating tower of pure, unadulterated efficiency.
So we've talked a lot about machines, conveyors, lifts, racks, but none of it works without people. The modern warehouse isn't just a space for products, it's a workplace, and it's designed from the ground up to keep its human operators safe, comfortable, and as efficient as possible.
The design for the people inside really focuses on three key things. Safety is number one, obviously. You see guardrails everywhere, emergency eye wash stations. Then you have ergonomics, things like anti-fatigue mats to stand on that help prevent injury. And finally, just plain old organization to keep things running smoothly, like lockers and dedicated shop desks.
And that specialization extends to everything, even the employee lockers. A locker isn't just a locker. There are specific models just for securely charging phones, special gear lockers for police uniforms, ventilated ones for gym clothes, and even antimicrobial lockers for super sanitary places like hospitals. Every single detail has been thought of.
And it's the exact same story for the workbenches. You've got everything from these super heavy-duty industrial benches all the way to delicate, anti-static stations for putting together electronics. And yes, for a little bit of fun, there's even one out there called the Pink Elephant Workbench. You can't make this stuff up.
The entire philosophy, everything we've seen so far, can be boiled down to a simple, powerful mantra. Move it, lift it, store it. That's the core of it all. It's a cycle of motion and order, repeated millions and millions of times every single day.
Which brings us to the final part of the journey. Because when your order comes in, that entire massive process we just walked through, it all happens in reverse. A person or maybe a robot gets sent to the exact right bin, on the exact right shelf, on the exact right rack to pick your item.
So let's recap that journey one last time. It arrives at the dock. It moves along conveyors. It's lifted by hoists. It's stored in racks and bins. Then it's picked by a worker, packed, labeled, and sent right back out the door on its way to you. It's an amazing journey, from chaos to perfect order, and then back out into the world again.
And all of this leaves us with a final, pretty big thought. As automation and robotics continue to grow, what happens to this physical world of the warehouse? Will all these racks and bins and conveyors we've seen become simpler, or will they have to become infinitely more complex to keep up with the machines? The answer to that is going to shape the future of how we get everything.